Today we're going to show you the best control settings for Pokemon Unite Mobile. Let's go. Ew guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy Assassin Dave. Welcome back to the Pokemon Unite Mobile Control Setting Guide. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set up the best control settings so you can have the most accurate and fluid gaming experience. Now without further ado, what you need to do, step 1 is go to practice mode and click on practice area and select a random Pokemon. Let's say we're gonna select Cinderace. Now, the reason why I like to set up my settings in the practice mode is so I can test the setting right away. You can also do all the settings I tell you in the front page directly from the setting panel. The first thing first, click on the top right corner on the setting tab, clicked on it. Regarding system setting, you just want to select the best system setting that's fit your phone and fit your eyes. I personally use Red Magic 6S Pro, the best gaming phone for 2021 that's affordable. You can buy yours with the link in description. Now let's go to the control tab. The control tab, the first item, the opponent lock-on priority. You almost never want to use the lowest remaining HP by percentage. Okay, this one, if you select it, you're always going to hit the tank. The difference between closest and lowest remaining HP value is that when you want to use the closest is when you select fighters, melee range attackers, melee range speedsters or aka assassins. Let's say Talonflame, let's say Gengar. All those Pokemons you want to be using closest. Basically any Pokemon that's melee range. Because the last thing you want to do is have the lowest remaining HP value and then you go jump into a group of people but you want to hit enemy carry. Now, even though he's standing right next to you, but you can't hit him because you have lowest HP value on, so it's gonna start chasing some other targets that's next to the one you want to hit because it has lowest HP value. So with melee attack Pokemons, make sure to always select closest. Now for range Pokemons, let's say Cinderace, let's say Greninja, you always want to have lowest remaining HP by value. Okay, so closest for the melee Pokemons and lowest remaining HP by value for the range Pokemons. Okay, so in this case I have Cinderace, that's why I'm gonna select the lowest HP remaining value. Now, regarding attack controls, always select this one, the advanced controls. Why is that? Because the advanced controls have a minion attack button on the left corner. You can see right next to the attack button. This allows me to hit the Pokemon even though when enemy Pokemon is present. So right now, if I hit attack button, you can see I'm always gonna attack this little dummy right here, right? Because the dummy is deemed as a enemy Pokemon champion. Now, but if I hit the minion attack button, all of a sudden, I can hit a small wild Pokemon. I can farm. This is very, very important. Let's say if there's an enemy character standing next to your Pokemon trying to invade you or try to fight you, you can always just click on the small attack button to always be hitting the wild Pokemon. So this way you can accurately last hit a wild Pokemon. Very, very important that you always have the advanced control on, okay? Now regarding automatic basic attacks, this thing you want to turn on. What this allow you to do is if I hit auto attack one time, watch. It's gonna constantly attack even if I'm AFK. This allows you to kind of pick your nose or whatever. This is really, really good when you're farming and you're too lazy. You just wanna attack it one time and it's gonna constantly hit auto attack button. All right, next thing is lock on icon. You wanna have this setting on. This way you can see that I have a Cinderace on the top right corner next to my skills. I can always tap the Cinderace to make sure my auto attack goes on Cinderace. This is extremely important for very accurate controls, you know? I can also tap on it and just keep on hitting attack button. You can see the line that's locking onto this Cinderace. Now, if I hit a minion attack button, it can start attacking minions. If I click on Cinderace one time, I can go back to hit attack button, and then all my attacks and skills will automatically go on Cinderace. You know, this is extremely important for accurate controls. If I hit a minion attack, it's gonna switch off the Cinderace and start hitting minions or wild Pokemons, right? And then if I lock onto him again, right, by clicking on the icon one time, all my skills will now go to on the enemy Cinderace. Very, very important setting to have on, okay? Now the move aim setting. This one you don't want to have icon because icon will completely screw up everything. Because when you have icon, you have to drag the skill to the icon lock on the top right corner in order to lock onto the individual Pokemon, which is really, really inconvenient. What you want to have this on is have to movement. All right, what this move aim setting clicked on movement, what it allows you to do is now look, I can select this skill one, right, which is my Ember, and I can now select to individual items that's on the map. If I just drag the skill around, I can accurately select on whatever Pokemon I want to, whatever wild Pokemon or Pokemon I want to hit. In this case, I'm gonna try to hit the enemy Cinderace, right? I'm just gonna look. select easily to the enemy Cinderace. So move aim setting, have it to movement, not icon. Icon sucks. Okay, click on move aim setting to movement. All right, guys. The in motion pursuit distance, it doesn't really matter, but the in motion pursuit mode, make sure to have this off. This is very, very important for kiting. So what this means is, let's say if I want to hit this Pokemon and auto attack, run, auto attack, run, auto attack, run, auto attack, run. So this way I can keep my distance, but I will show you if I have this setting on. What happens if I'm escaping, right? I want auto attack this wild Pokemon. Watch. Auto attack, auto attack. Look, do you see how it's jerking me back and forth? You always want to have your joystick be the first priority of your control. Basically, your attack button, your skill button should be second priority. You should only trigger those attack while you're in range of the enemy Pokemon that you want to hit. If you're running away and you try to hit like a skill and you hit attack and it constantly try to turn you around, that's extremely bad when you try to run away. Okay, so you don't want to jerk yourself. You want to make sure you have this thing off. So this way, look, if I try to run away and if I hit attack button, it simply won't trigger anything. It just ignores that. But let's say if I'm in range of the Pokemon, when I hit attack button, I'm still holding my joystick, but if I'm in range of the Pokemon, it's gonna stop and it's gonna auto attack. This is very, very important, okay? Because it's allowing you to actually kite around very accurately. So you want to make sure you have in motion pursuit off, and the in motion pursuit distance doesn't really matter anymore because you have this mode off. The next thing you want to have, the scoring control, have this on press buttons. Why you don't want a hold button control is because sometimes when you have the enemy defense zone defenseless, let's say you have like Zapdos or you have Rotom unlock and you want to score instantaneously, having the hold button down will delay your scoring. But just having press button will allow you to instantly score. Okay, obviously this little slut is constantly hitting me. What this allows you to do, you can hit the scoring one time, it's gonna score for you. And this is extremely good, like I said, when there's Zapdos, when there's Rotom, and you can instantly score. Having the hold down button really gonna delay you because you have to press it down for 2 seconds. During that time, the control time, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get interrupted, and you're gonna take a lot of damage. But if you have this setting selected to like basically press button, you can just dash in, click on the button, and it's gonna score instantaneously, you know, which is really convenient. The next setting that you wanna pay attention to is the Pokemon move control. The move cancel controls have this slide to icon by default, okay? Basically, this icon is this cancel button. So you see this cancel button when I hold my skill, there's a little cross on the top right corner. If you have to drag your skill to the cancel because you don't want to cancel your skills haphazardly. You also don't want to just cancel your skill randomly just because you're sliding up. You want to have some kind of distance when you're dragging your skill. Like if you casually slide your skill up your screen and they just cancel the skill, it's extremely bad. A lot of times you just want to like slide your skill and then have to trigger because this way it's really accurate. Now it's really fast in combat. It's really fast in reaction times. Look, let's see. Especially if I have Pyro Balls, right? I can just slide the skill. Yeah, I can just slide the skill like for a long distance, you know, on my screen, and it's gonna instantly trigger the skill. But if I have this control to the cancel, like to dragging out a distance, what happens if I slide up? It's gonna cancel the skill. Sometimes it won't even trigger, which is really inconvenient. So you want to make sure you have this to drag to the X button, drag to the cancel button. This way, it never cancel haphazardly. Very important you have this on. Now, regarding move panel sensitivity, this thing is actually not very important, but what is important, explaining what move panel is. Move panel is basically this top right corner of your screen where you can swipe around and look at what's going on the map. You can see right here. I can swipe around the entire map and see what's going on besides my screen, because that's very important. Let's say I'm heading from the top side to the bottom Dreadnought, enemy is fighting Dreadnought, I can scan over here and pan over here and see what enemies are doing with it, right? Is it already being triggered? Is it doing damage? How low is it? This way give me an idea whether I can make it in time. So that's basically what move panel is, the top right corner of your screen where you can pan. Now, the sensitivity for move panel, I haven't figured out exactly what it does. It's not that important. I've tried using the settings, not very important. What's important is the camera sensitivity, okay? You want to have the camera sensitivity up to quite high. This allows you to pan around on the map, like the entire map, very easily. You can see I can pan the entire map, like on the mini-map side. Now, obviously, if I turn this down to low, like camera sensitivity, I drag to very low, you can see I can't really pan anymore. Even if I drag to the edge of the screen, it doesn't go very far. It doesn't allow me to see the full map. It allows me to see this very limited area. And it's not something you want to do. You want to have this setting turned up to decently high, somewhere around here, and just get used to like this large AoE panning, you know? Because this allows you to see the whole thing, where the enemy is doing Rotom, where the enemy is doing Dreadnought, where the enemy is doing like Zapdos, allows you to see the whole thing. Very, very important to have this turned on to very, very high. Now, go back to camera follow moves. Have this setting turned up to on. Okay, why is this important? Because let's say if I'm dragging the skill towards the bottom side, sometimes some enemies on the bottom side, it's really hard to see. But if I have this the camera follow on, when I drag a skill to the area where can I see, particularly on the bottom side, the camera is gonna pan bottom automatically and give me a little bit leeway to see what's going on the bottom side. This is very, very important when I'm like trying to hit targets on the bottom side, okay? So you can have this turn on. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. Regarding move, aim, follow, movement direction, and the move, aim snaps to nearby targets. This you also want to turn on. Let's say if you're like standing next to the target and you want to use your flame charge like really quickly, or some kind of like charge up skills next to a target, you can just click on it instead of dragging it to save you some time. But advanced control, like a pro player will almost always drag the skill, you know, like slide the skill really fast. This is also why I said you should always have the skill cancel, have this setting turn on to X instead of having this setting like, you know, cancel haphazardly. You can see I just slide it real quickly. So this usually doesn't really affect very experienced player, but for new player, you want to have this turned on to high, turn on to on. So when you try to run away, drag your skills. But usually when in combat, you just clicked on it. You know, you just clicked on it, see? And it's always gonna target enemy Pokemon. It's gonna target nearby Pokemon. So automatically, so you're never gonna miss your skills. So that's for entry-level players. Again, if you're experienced, you just slide your skills always, so you don't really need this. It doesn't really affect you. Now, camera sensitivity. Regarding camera movement, always have it to slide. Don't use the two other settings. They suck. We tried it. The camera sensitivity, make sure you have to high as we talked about. The last but not the least is the panel placement. This is one of the best settings available in the game. Click on adjust. What it allows you to do is basically allows you to customize where your buttons are relatively to the edge of your screen. Because we know there's so many different devices out there, like iPad, iPhone, different Android tablets, and obviously the best gaming phone that I use, Red Magic 6S Pro. Get yours with the link in description. All this allows you to actually, you know, adjust the button location based on your finger, based on your device. So in this case, for example, let's say I rest my thumb on the screen, it's basically where the movement is. Now, if I rest my thumb in the screen, it's a little bit toward the center, I can move my joystick towards the center, you know? And this way, it's more custom to to my liking. It's more custom to what I'm used to. Now, obviously, I still like my previous location, which is right here. Because I have a fairly large screen, I have a 6.8 inches AMOLED display, and I like to put my control a little bit closer to the edge where I can actually hit them. So, same for skills, right? You can move the entire panel where you like them. Like, basically, what I recommend is kind of tap the edge of your screen and see where your finger is gonna rest, all right? See, like, where your attack is gonna rest. This way, you can control the buttons. You can kind of get a feel of where they are. You can drag the skills right here, right? See that? You can drag the skills and see, oh, okay, this fits my liking. All right, this feels nice. Maybe like I can offset a little bit towards the center. But you basically want to make sure that you rest your fingers on the screen to see where your fingers land naturally. And then adjust the movement panel based on your liking, based on your preference. This way you have the best control that's for your preference. So that will conclude today's tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop the like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. With that, it's Dave signing off. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye for now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you.